Hey guys, welcome back to Meraki V Writes, and as you know by now, hopefully, I am Autumn Vera. You can find me on IG at Meraki V Writes, and if you guys haven't already checked it out, you can go to my blog at www.merakivwrites.com/shop-my-bookshelf. I have items that were previously on my bookshelf up for grabs. There are some amazing exclusive items. There are items from Fairy Loot, Owl Crate, Illuma Crate. So you guys definitely check it out. These are some exclusive items that they are no longer selling, and see what you might find. Alright, so time to get into the video of today. As you could already tell from the cover art, I am talking about the one, the only, Gideon the Ninth. Okay, so, I gotta take a deep breath because this book, I made the mistake of listening to it on audiobook. That was not the smartest move, and I could literally scream. So, before I get into the reasons why I did not like the book, let me just give you a brief overview of what the book is about. It is a vast world. It is set in a planet where royals are people who have the ability to control the dead. That's right, they are necromancers. And so with this book, there are officially 9 houses, and they all serve the Emperor Undying. He is undying. He has lived for several thousand years, and they serve him, hoping to one day become one of his right hands and become immortal themselves. And because all of these houses are actually competing against one another, it is time once again for that competition to start. And so all the houses from 2 to about 9 are now in this competition. It is set, and they are pinned against each other to try to see who will become the Emperor's undying right hand, and immortality shall be theirs. And so to set this book off, you have the character Gideon. She is a young, not necromancer, but she is a swordswoman. She is the right hand of one of the royal houses, the 9th house. But unfortunately, the book starts off with her trying to leave. This is not the first time that she's tried to escape the 9th, because essentially she's their puppet. She is the one who they get to either kill someone, do all their dirty deeds, stand there and basically be their sword and shield. Because with necromancy comes an immense power of concentration. You cannot stop what you're doing from pulling the dead from the ground, because if you do, the concentration breaks, you are just left defenseless. They don't really know how to fight themselves. They raise the dead and have them fight instead, which I'll get to later. So with this book being set off, she is pinned with the Princess of the 9th to enter into this competition and try to win it. But of course, drama ensues, and we start off with the conflict in the chapter of the book, murders. Okay, so to say all that, let's go into the reasons why I didn't like the book. One, I did not like how many times, countless times, you have the main characters, Gideon and Harrow, set against each other. Harrow is the Princess of the 9th, just to give some context. So you have Gideon and Harrow set against each other in this book. They're supposed to be working together for one common goal, but as you know, the princess wants to become the Emperor's undying right hand, and Gideon just wants to leave all the craziness behind. She wants a life of her own. She has been trapped there at the 9th house for as long as she can remember. So I sympathize with Gideon. At first I did. Because she wanted a life of her own. She wants to be free from their responsibilities, their drama, their craziness, them randomly killing people. So that I can totally understand. But the way that the author wrote her character was something left to be desired. I did not like the way her character came about. And of course, it's not the fact that, she's set as a lesbian in the story. It's not the fact that she's set off as a swordsman who doesn't really know how to use her sword, even though that was kind of crazy to me at first. It's not even the fact that she is just pissed off all the time. It's how much cursing is throughout this book. It's how much sass is throughout this book. I'm sassy, but I'm not that sassy. Like, this book was like an overkill of them just pinning each other and then just going off on each other. Like, I don't need 10 chapters of that. Can we get to the plot of the story? I just need the context. So I know it was done for either story purposes, character development, or humor. One of those three. But which one it was, I couldn't really tell because I could not get past all of that. There was just the book was unnecessarily wordy. You had to go through at least 5 pages to get to the point. The author repeated things over and over again. Like, just a bit of a spoiler, Gideon is experiencing immense pain, immeasurable pain, and the author decides to write this scene and make it at least a page or 2 long to describe how much pain Gideon is in. Her eyes are blurring. It feels like the world is shaking. It feels like she can't breathe, like she's being crushed by a rock, like she is having the oxygen pulled from out of her body, like someone is squeezing her to death. How many times can you say that throughout it? How many times can you repeat yourself way too many times? So that's one of the things I did not like about the book. It repeated itself way too much. The action came extremely slow. Although you do have Harrow and Gideon pinned against each other as rivals, they hate each other's guts, and they do try and fight against each other. Unfortunately, Gideon loses. How, though? She has a sword. Homegirl can just rape dead people. That's about it. Like, what are you doing? So, okay, let me just say this. I like the fact that the world is set and you have necromancers. Necromancers, I think, is a pretty cool way to write a book. Raising the dead, having a dead army, having those powers to manipulate a soul into a body, to pull spirits, someone's last moments, to have them fight your battles. You know, that's kind of a cool concept, and it's set in space. So these are like different worlds, different planets that are now being pinned against each other. And this was a really cool concept. I love the idea, but it wasn't executed well. And the characters, there was way too many characters to keep track of. Now, I know you're probably thinking that, oh, Game of Thrones is like that. There are other science fiction books that are like that. Sure, that's fine. But when you have multiple characters set in one book, and the majority of them are gone by the end of the book, that's something. I don't need all these people to be main characters. I just need them to be side characters, and I only need to see what Gideon does towards her journey, her development, her learning. She doesn't learn anything. She stays the same throughout the majority of the book. The only thing that actually changes with her as a character is her somewhat respect, if you want to call it, for Harrow at the end. But even that is kind of lackluster. They come to a mutual understanding, but do they? No, they don't. It's just, it falls short, and I was very disappointed with the book. Why did I keep going? I don't know. Because I started with it and I had to finish it, and that was just on my part. So I just didn't I didn't care for the book at all. So if for those of you who probably have seen, Harrow is the second installment of the Gideon the Ninth series, and it has been out for maybe about 2 weeks now, and so you can find it at your local bookshop. If you were a fan of this book series, tell me why. Explain it to me so I can understand. I get it. You might like Gideon's character. She is sassy. She has a sailor's mouth. Great. But when it comes to plot and character development and the story, I just couldn't, because it went on tangent after tangent after tangent. And did it get to the main part? Sure. But like at the end, and while you're trying to guess who's killing off all these different people of the houses, you're missing the main point. Like, is Is she supposed to be doing anything at all? She doesn't really learn how to use her sword per se, and all of a sudden she gets faster with it. Can I get that journey of her training, of her fighting? Can we get more of that? I can't imagine getting a character, putting her into a battle and say, okay, she practiced some hours, she's good. Is there more to it? No? Okay. All right. So, yeah, that's really what I didn't like about the book. And the main reason why I didn't like it is because it went on forever. And it's not even like the story went on forever, because the book isn't even that thick. It's the fact that the sentences were run on. It's the fact that the characters just kept talking, sassing each other, doing more unnecessary things than adding to the plot of the story and carrying the plot along. None of that really happened. You got bits of that, but the majority of it is them just not liking each other, them talking about each other, them fighting each other. So this book was a headache to get through. I'll be brutally honest. And because it was a headache to get through, I only give it 1 star. I gotta be honest, I can only give it 1 star. It just did not do it for me. It wasn't my kind of read. And it exhausted me for the month of August. Like, I have other books I had to get through, and I am barely at halfway with them because I was trying to get Gideon in the 9th over and done with. So, yeah. Like I said, for those of you who have read the book, who liked it, point out those facts to me in the comments below. If you didn't like it like I didn't like it, tell me the reasons why. If they were the same reasons, just put same. Same. Because it, 1 star. Alright guys, that's probably all I have for this review. I know I will not be buying Harrow. It's just a personal preference. It was not my kind of read. It didn't do anything for me at all. So, Gideon was intriguing as a character. Could have been more to her. Could have been more depth to her. But she really came across as 2D. And Harrow was more interesting than her at the end. And I can get why she is set for the 2nd book, because that's what the 2nd book is about. It's about her story. So, I don't know. It's still not going to intrigue me enough to buy it. Alright, so that's all I have for this review. It was a major letdown, and I'm going to have to pick myself up with one of my September reads. If you have not seen that video, it is before this one. Go check it out in my bookish updates. Let me know what books you got for the fall, and if I should check any other books out. I'm trying to break into the science fiction genre, but I can't. I'm having difficulty picking books, so please leave some recommendations down below of books that are like fantasy, sci-fi that I might enjoy. Please don't let it be too long. I will lose interest immediately. Thank you guys. Appreciate you so much, and I'll catch y'all in the next video. Bye.